What the fuck just happened? That was absolutely insane. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this sport anymore. I never really did. Nobody does. I'm whispering because it's fucking 2 a.m. I was going to start with a intro and all of that and start from the bottom of the card. You can't start from the bottom of the card on something like this. You just can't. Justin Gaethje just knocked out Ilia Topuria. I get it wasn't really a knockout. It was a doctor stoppage, a corner stoppage, whatever. He broke his rib. But what do you even do with the sport anymore after this? This is the kind of thing where after this fight, there's no such thing as like somebody who can't be beaten. That's it. He was the only one. Islam already got beat. He's had close fights. Hamza, even though he was undefeated, he had the close fight with what's his name, with Gilbert Burns. He had the close fight with Kamaru Usman. Who else? Marab. When Marab lost, he already had two losses on his record, and his wins, they were dominant, but they were close decisions. Who else? Where are all these fucking upsets this year? It's just crazy. Ilia Topuria was the only one out of all these guys who looked untouchable. He didn't have a competitive fight. If you choose a competitive fight to point to of Ilia Topuria, that's like a competitive fight for a round, for two. Volkanovski won the first round off Topuria. Max Holloway made it to round three. Made it to round three. Ilia showed barely any damage. In this fight, I guess do we just go do we just go right into the fight? Is that what we're gonna do? I think that's what we're gonna do. Because what the fuck? What do you do about this? This is. I guess we're not going into the fight. This is insane. Justin Gaethje is the world champion. That that's the kind of thing that if I told you that, you'd be like, no, 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 no. What the fuck are you talking about? Justin Gaethje is the world champion. Who did he beat? Who did he beat? Dustin Poirier for the belt. So you're telling me after he got flatlined by Max Holloway, 2 fights later, 3 fights later, after looking terrible against Paddy, he won, but barely. He did. Patty looked better than Ilya. Is Patty better than Ilya? Is that what we're saying now? Is Rafael Fiziev better than Ilya? Going to two 29-28 close decisions with Justin Gaethje, is he better than Ilya now? What the fuck? Okay, so I'm gonna go into the fight and try to break it down, but really this is like getting a puzzle that's like half eaten by a mouse and telling somebody explain what this is supposed to look like. So that's what I'm doing over here. It's like I'm looking at this fight, and after the fact, I'm gonna have to try to explain to you how the fuck Justin Gaethje won, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, and that's it. We don't have anybody left. We have nobody left who's God, and I guess that's because at the end of the day, everyone's human, and that's just what it is. At the end of the day, it's just two people in a cage, fucking throwing hands at each other, and whoever connects first is gonna win, no matter how good you are. Ilya Topuria, fucking skill for skill, he's the best person in the UFC. There's no doubt. Maybe Peter Yan. But that's it. He's more skilled than Justin Gaethje, no matter what. If there was a rematch, it'd be interesting. Well, let's get into this fight. Round one, Ilia Topuria is coming out right away. I just want to say something did look off. Usually Ilia Topuria, he kind of stands out of range. People usually give him a little bit of respect, so they're backing off. He's pressuring in, and he's very feint heavy. Feints coming in, feints coming in, feints coming in. Uses the jab, feints coming in. This fight, none of that. Ilia Topuria is like this, comes into range, legs forward, hips back. This is his new stance. I don't know why he did it. You don't know why he did it. Nobody fucking knows why he did it because we don't fucking know anything about this sport anymore. And I love it. I don't know. I might be coming off as angry. I love this fucking sport because you never know what the fuck's gonna happen. That's why I love it. And that's how you end up with situations like this where it's just after today there is no such thing as a one-sided match because everyone was looking at Justin Gaethje when he came to this fight as like, man, you're just showing up to your funeral. You're a lamb to be slaughtered. You are here to be slaughtered. Welcome aboard. Ilia Topuria already threw the funeral. So after today, this is probably what it was like for Matt Serra to beat GSP. I don't know. I wasn't watching UFC back then. This is probably what it felt like. But then you could say he caught him. He didn't catch him here. So again, let's get into the fight. I keep on retrying to get into the fight, and I go back to like, I can't believe Justin Gaethje beat Ilia Topuria. And neither can you. Nobody can believe this. And I don't care about the people saying, there's people out there who picked Ilia Topuria, but when they made the prediction, they're like, Justin Gaethje could win this. If he uses his leg kicks, he didn't use his fucking leg kicks. If he uses his leg kicks, he can really win this. And now they're there being smartasses, even though you also picked Ilia Topuria. You're not fucking smart because you made an argument. You made a stupid argument. It was stupid. I don't care that Justin Gaethje won. There's no way he could have won. I'm like sitting here not believing that Justin Gaethje won. That's how fucking crazy this is. Nothing like this has ever happened, man. Let's try to go into it again. Maybe this time I'll get through more than 5 seconds before I acknowledge how crazy this situation is. Justin Gaethje goes into the fight. Ilia Topuria is coming out with the weird stance, like we've mentioned. Justin Gaethje throws a jab. It hits Ilia. The first punch he throws hits Ilya right in the eye, busts up his eye. I didn't predict that to happen, you know? So I didn't see that coming. My bad. Hits Ilya in the eye. His eye's swollen up. Ilya keeps on trying to charge in. And honestly, round one, like, that was a weird game plan from Ilya Topuria. It could be Josh Hokit got to him. Wouldn't that be funny? If after all this, it was Josh Hokit, called him short, and he's like, you know what, fuck you, man, I'm going to knock out Justin Gaethje. And to be fair, in the first 30 seconds, it looked like we're about to pack up. It looked like he was about to knock out Justin Gaethje, landing bombs on him. But Justin Gaethje did this crafty little fucking thing where he would lean away. Now this hand comes up, grabs the back of Ilya's head, and throws this fucking uppercut. And that's all he would do. Maybe I'm going to back up a little bit so you see more space. Let me just see what my camera's showing over here. This is what he does. He's blocking. This is the Justin Gaethje shell. Leans away, grabs the back of the head, and BAM! Right up into there. Right up into his fucking face, cracking him hard. Now the other thing he would do, let's go back to this camera so I see what I'm doing. He would lean away, and instead of coming with the uppercut, he would shoot a takedown. Let me drag it back on screen. Shoots the takedown. Ilya pushes him away, goes right back to the collar tie, right back to the uppercut. And so Justin Gaethje is just spamming this move. He's running away from Ilya, kind of turning away from him. Don't touch me. Grabs the leg, comes up, bam! And he's cracking Ilya. And this isn't a 145er hitting Ilya. It's not Volkanovski hitting Ilya. This isn't Max Holloway hitting Ilya. This is Justin Gaethje hitting Ilya. I know he said he's not a knockout artist, which he isn't. At the end of the day, Ilya ate all these punches, right? So I still think, like, he's not this one-shot power person. But at the end of the day, this is a weight class above. Ilya looked small out there. He's 5'7". I know he says he walks around 200 pounds. He does not walk around 200 pounds. That's not a thing that's true. We're not going to talk about my height. But I just know this for a fact. Ilya Topuria is not 200 pounds walking around. And neither is Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje probably walks around 175, 180. And probably so is Ilya Topuria. But it's just the way they're built is different. Anyway, Justin Gaethje's landing these big fucking punches. And Ilya's face is scarring up right away. That's the difference. He was landing bombs on Gaethje, but Gaethje looked the same. At the end of the fight, he doesn't look like he was in a war. Ilya looked like a fucking skeleton. So round one is over, and we're sitting here like, what the fuck just happened? Ilya's coming in kind of reckless, not using head movement, and Gaethje's just throwing reckless punches, but they're landing because Ilya's chin is there, and he looked like he was really trying to force a knockout, and he did land heavy shots on Gaethje. But Gaethje has a good chin, you know? I think that Max Holloway knockout, we saw that image of Justin Gaethje's face on the canvas, just lying there like this, and we thought, okay, now everybody can knock out Justin Gaethje. But other than that, really, who has knocked out Justin Gaethje? Dustin Poirier? That wasn't like a crazy knockout. Another one was Eddie Alvarez with a knee to the face, you know? Like, besides for that, nobody has knocked out Justin Gaethje. And Max Holloway put a beating on him before he knocked him out, and that was a crazy knockout. So Justin Gaethje really does have a crazy fucking chin, you know? He made a whole career. Now it's like I have to walk back everything. I was making fun of this guy for going to war with these Brazilians with these like 12-8 records in fucking World Series of Fighting. But now it's like, I guess he could just survive all of it, you know? Anyway, let's go into round two. We got through one round. Let's see if we get through another one. Round two, Ilya comes out, and it looks like now, I don't know what his corner told him, but he started looking like the scary Ilya. Head movement. He started getting this again. This is Ilya's head. This is what Ilya's supposed to do. Round one, he's coming out like this. Like this. Looked like he was scared of Gaethje and trying to knock him out. Round two, we're seeing scary Ilya. He's right here. Right? Right here. Starts using his jab. Starts feinting, coming in and out. Not letting Gaethje know that he's just going to attack at every moment. You don't know anymore when he's going to attack. That's what's scary about him. And to be fair, he was doing very well. He starts landing the punches. And what he noticed in this round is to target Gaethje's body. He landed a hook to the body, kind of hunched over Gaethje. And so now he's putting pressure on Gaethje. Now he's going forward. But in all this, Justin Gaethje was never out of the fight. Justin Gaethje, every once in a while, would crack him with an uppercut, crack him with the right up top. So that's the new thing. Now he's grabbing the back of the head, coming up with the uppercut, and then coming up top. Like, bam, bam, as Ilya's trying to back away, because he's moving away from the uppercut right into that right hook. Okay? But Ilya's doing much better in this round. This is the round where it started going kind of downhill, and everyone's like, okay, you know, round one was tough. Ilya's kind of messed up in his face. I'm thinking to myself, man, this is not a good look for Ilya. He's going to beat Gaethje in round two, and round one he didn't look very good. Now people are they're going to be haters. They're like, yeah, man, you know, Justin Gaethje messed up his face. That's what I'm thinking. At this point, I'm still not thinking there's any possible way for Ilya Topuria to lose this fight. There's no way, you know? And he's looking the part, you know, coming in with his combos, starts hurting Gaethje to the body, and then he hurts Gaethje up top too. Gaethje starts going to the fence. It looks like it's over. Ilya starts targeting the body again, really crumples Gaethje up, because Gaethje did a very good job with his guard up top, but the body was open, and Ilya starts landing these heavy punches to the body. Gaethje crumples down. Ilya gets on top of him, starts landing a couple ground and pound shots, But then he starts going for submissions. What are you doing, Ilya Topuria? First of all, my boy had you in his parlay by knockout, or had knockout to fit to be in this fight. So what do you think you're doing? But besides for that, why are we going for submissions, bro? You gotta knock this guy out. Why are we doing this? It's sweaty. It's hot outside. And he goes for first. He tried to go for an armbar. Gaethje kind of defended it, and then he tries going for a mounted triangle. Yeah, bro, you're not doing no mounted triangle. Look at the size of your legs, man. You're 5'7". Sorry, you're not. Triangle's not your thing. Tries going for a triangle, fails it, and then he gets on top of Gaethje after failing these, and he just kind of slumps on him. And this is when you notice there's something off. He looked tired. He wasn't throwing ground and pound shots. When you're on top of somebody, and it's kind of a war until this point, you're winning. At least the second round, you're winning. You're landing ground and pound, but he didn't do any of that. He just stayed there, and you could tell he's heavy breathing, and Gaethje could tell that too. And he was on. He must have been on top of him for like 2 minutes of just heavy breathing. And this is where the outside environment plays a part. This is where, at the end of the day, as much as from the home, it didn't feel like they were fighting outside. You have to remind yourself they're fighting in like 100-degree weather. It's boiling outside. It was supposed to rain and it didn't, which means that it was super fucking humid out there too. So how fucking tired is he? Because this is a war, and Justin Gaethje thrives in wars. And Ilya Topuria has never been in a war. He's never been in a war. He's gone to decision, but that's when he fucked up Josh Emmett. That was not a war. Round 1 was competitive. After that, that was not competitive. So he's here thinking, man, I can't believe Justin Gaethje survived this long. On top of him, super gassed out. It's hot outside. He can't fucking breathe. And when he gets up, so the round ends with him being on top. He gets up, and it's like, man, from home, everybody was just looking at it like, goddamn, this is gonna be a whole different fight now. Even though he looked the best in round 2, it's his only dominant round. You could just tell when he got up, he wasn't the same. So he comes out round 3. Justin Gaethje at this point knows Ilya's tired, doesn't let him get back into it because Ilya's tired. He's kind of moving around, and Justin Gaethje just fucking smashing that jab out there. That's really what did it. Every time Ilya tried to start something, Justin Gaethje just smashed the jab. Now the uppercut. Now back to the hook. He's smashing Ilya at a certain point. As Ilya comes in, Justin Gaethje times it with that hook up top, drops Ilya. This isn't a head kick drop. He fucking dropped him, man. And he didn't recover. And Ilya tried to like come in. Justin Gaethje sprawls, gets him in the Justin Gaethje position. You guys know the Justin Gaethje position. This is, if you don't know, the Justin Gaethje position is when Justin Gaethje hurts his opponent badly and then sits on top of them and lets them recover. This is the Justin Gaethje way. This is why he could have had so many more knockouts, but he loves this position. He swears by it. This is the best position ever, where you just sit on top of their face and you do nothing. And you just touch them up. And so that's what he did. He let Ilya recover from that. But this is like, man, Ilya Topuria just got dropped. It's never happened before. Ilya Topuria recovers, kind of gets back up. Justin Gaethje kind of drags him down again. And that round, he was just beating up Ilya Topuria. And we saw something in this round we've never seen before. Ilya looked scared. He starts going backwards. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Ilya Topuria is going backwards? When the hell has Ilya Topuria ever gone backwards? And he looks scared. He's running away. And Gaethje realizes this. So he starts running at him, throwing punches, flying knees at him, just absolutely destroying him. And his eyes are swollen at this point. He looks like a fucking ghost, like a skeleton. And at the end of this round, they go back into the corners. And from here, Ilya is saying, I can't see. And everyone's like, no. Don't fucking say that. You can't finish a fight like this. We need to see somebody go out cold. You can't say this. If you're going to lose in fashion. Go out cold. I want to see you slumped on the canvas. And the doctor comes in, and he's moving his fucking finger around, and Ilya is like this. Can't see shit, obviously. Look at his eyes. And the doctor waves it off. And everyone's like, no! You're not fucking waving off this fight, man. You can't. And thank God Goddard was like, no, you can't do it. It's Ilya. You're not doing this. So they brought a second doctor. Second doctor said, no, he can continue. Whatever the fuck happened. Ilya was like, no, you have to let me get back in there. They let him back in. Finally, we can go back to what we love seeing. People knocking the shit out of each other. So round 4. Round 4, Ilya's looking recovered a little bit, especially because it took like 5 minutes for that whole doctor situation. So Ilya's looking recovered. He's back to his footwork, sticking Gaethje with the jab, going around, and he's kind of feeling himself a little bit. He rocked Gaethje a little bit. All this is off of memory, so I'm not going to get this word for word. But he's landing his overhands, landing some combos, but he's still tired. He didn't fully recover, and Gaethje's also tired. But again, Gaethje fights better tired. He's used to being tired. It's not as much of a shock for him. Ilya's never been in this kind of a fight before. So he's landing his body shots on Gaethje, and Gaethje's coming out every time. And this happened in round 3 too. I forgot to mention. He was not trying to fuck with Ilya in the mid-range. So there's like the kicking range, mid-range, and his clinch range. Gaethje would just run in, shoot these sloppy takedowns, and then just grab the back of Ilya's head and just fucking hammer it with uppercuts, knees, and just try to stay there. And he's weighing on Ilya, and he's bigger than Ilya, and he's better from that position. That's Gaethje's position. So round 4, he's doing the same thing again, not letting Ilya into the fight, but Ilya's doing better. And this round was a round that Ilya could have won if not what have happened next, it happened next. So what happened next is Ilya, he's getting kind of tired. He remembers he was on top of Gaethje before, so he shoots a takedown, gets on top of Gaethje for a little bit, but from here Gaethje kind of gives up his back, and Ilya's landing. Oh, Ilya lands a couple ground and pound shots, lands an elbow to Gaethje's forehead, which cuts his forehead open. Everyone's like, okay, fine. There was some crazy shit that happened, but it's Ilya Topuria. This is where he gets a ground and pound TKO or something, but Gaethje kind of turns around, he hops on Gaethje's back, he falls off of the back, and from here Gaethje puts him back into the Gaethje position, obviously, kind of sprawling on him a little bit, but I think Ilya rolled out right away, actually, got back up, back into Gaethje's face, but now he's tired again. He did a little bit more grappling, he's fucking tired, so he shoots another takedown, but this time Gaethje sprawls, and sprawls hard, and sprawls Ilya's face right into the canvas, and there's like 30 seconds left in the fight, and he's just holding Ilya in the Gaethje position, and starts punching the side of his body, and kneeing the side of his body, and just chilling there, and now there's like 5 seconds left, and so he stands up, puts his hands on Ilya, and just fucking throws this heavy knee right into Ilya's ribs. And the second that happened, Ilya's hips just sunk to the canvas. Right away, I looked around, I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know what happened yet, but right away, that just gave the round to Gaethje. Now it's 3-1 going into the 5th round instead of 2-2. So now Ilya needs a knockout. That's what I'm thinking, like, oh, that hurt him really badly. But turns out Ilya goes to his corner and says, I can't continue, my rib's broken. And his brother calls it off. And everyone's like, what the fuck? It's over. It's fucking over. Justin Gaethje did it. And it was all with that knee to the body. I mean, of course, there's the rest of the fight that we were breaking down, but it really was that knee to the body that finished the fight and broke his ribs. And it's crazy to think Gaethje might not have thrown that knee if there wasn't 5 seconds left. It was so high risk because he literally just stood up, posted on Ilya, and just threw that knee. And that's it. It's over. And now we are here to deal with the consequences of that. Because what the fuck does this mean? I don't know anything about this sport anymore. Nobody gave this guy a chance. I didn't give this guy a chance. There were people who said there's ways for Gaethje to win. And maybe it was a combination of everything. The right opponent to fight Ilya. The weather for sure played a part, you know? Like, absolutely. Ilya gassed in round 2. When the fuck has that ever happened before? When the fuck has that happened to a world-level champion, you know? So, of course, it being outdoors in D.C. played a big factor. But you can't take this away from Gaethje. Gaethje absolutely fucked him up. And now we are in this reality. And I'm going to move on before this video gets too long. But here we are. And this is why this is the greatest sport ever. It's the greatest sport ever because yesterday there was a basketball game. And I don't follow basketball. But in basketball, no matter how one-sided a team can be, you're never going to have two fucking people stand in the middle of the ring and just fucking go at it. And one of them, Ilya, is going to be in the fucking hospital for a very long time. It's going to take him a very long time to recover. And that's what the fuck this sport is. You never fucking know what's going to happen. And that's why it's awesome. No matter how obvious you think a pick is, there's always a fucking chance. There's always a chance. It's 4-ounce gloves, as they say. So there's always a chance. And that's why we love it. No matter how, Dana, he'll put on these shitty fucking Apex cards. One coming up next week. It's actually pretty good, the one next week. But he puts on these Apex fights. And they're shitty. They're not good names. But he can say, just watch the fights and you'll see. And he's right, because they're always fucking good. There's never like a bad UFC event, because it's just people fighting at the end of the day. And that's never going to be boring. I'm moving on for my sanity. It has loaded. Ciryl Gane. Fuck you, Ciryl Gane. He's lucky that the fight after him happened, because a lot of shit happened in this fight too that we really have to talk about. Fuck you, man. You're a piece of shit. I hate Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane tonight has become my least favorite fighter. You might be thinking, why? And the reason you're thinking why is because the UFC did what they love to do best, which is cover up controversy. Let's talk about the fight. Alex Pereira comes out. First of all, Sean O'Malley, you were right about his ass. That is a gigantic, but absolutely massive. That's where all the weight went. But Alex Pereira comes out, and let's just talk about the fight real quick. So he lands a couple leg kicks, and the whole thing was, is Alex Pereira gonna look slow or not? And Alex Pereira threw that head kick right away. That was so fucking fast. The right away, it's like, no, he's not gonna look slow. But something that happened, and it's kind of the same thing that happened with Ilya. It's just he had no respect for the guy in front of him, and he just started marching in like this, not relying on his leg kick, not standing outside of range, just trying to walk down Gane. And Gane's a footwork guy. You're not going to be able to just walk him down. That's what he's good at. So Gane's kind of walking around at range, being in the outside. And round 1, let me just remind myself how round 1 went. Is this updated? Yeah. So round 1, 11 to 23 total strikes. And significant strikes, I guess, is also, so every strike was counted significant, I guess. I'll be honest, this Gaethje fight got me so fucking in my head. I don't even remember this fight as much. But what I do remember is round one. It was kind of a back and forth. I think, yeah. So Pereira started landing these leg kicks, and he started getting cocky. He starts walking down Gane, and Gane starts cracking him, and he starts kind of throwing. And this is something I saw a lot on this card. Is like throwing a hook and then coming up top with the overhead, and they were getting very close to Pereira, dangerously close. And right away, I was like, guys, just watch out. I know Alex Pereira is a scary guy, but he's giving Gane a chance by trying to trade with him. And round two, so round one was kind of 50-50, at least the way I remember it. Gane was definitely getting the better. Round one does go to Gane, but it was like, okay, we got a fight on our hands. Round two, similar fights happening, obviously until what happened. But yeah, like I feel like we didn't see the Alex Pereira that was trying to be technical and had a plan. It really looked like Alex Pereira that was trying to walk down Gane. And I think there was a moment where he even hurt Gane a little bit, and he came in and he got a little bit of offense off. But Gane was a big guy. They're both big guys. But this is like, this could be the first time Alex Pereira actually fought somebody that's like really his size and built like him, because he's a freak, as Robert Whitaker said. Who let this guy in? Like he's a fucking gigantic monster. But now he fought another gigantic monster in Cyril Gane, and so I guess he met his match. I guess that's what it is. Like I guess those shots just felt different. Those jabs felt different. Cyril Gane was landing that jab a lot. Alex Pereira was coming over with the hook. We never did we though? Did we even see Alex Pereira hook in this fight? I totally forgot that was his thing. I forgot. I was thinking about the calf kicks. I forgot Alex Pereira has a hook. I feel like maybe we did see it happen this time. But yeah. Anyway, round two, Cyril Gane drops him badly, and this was a legit knockdown. Legit knocked him down. Gets on top. Lands like two punches that were legal, and then he landed 11 ground and pound back of the head shots. That's right, 1-1, double digit back of the head shots in a row. He started with the elbows, 5 elbows to the back of the head, and this is all as Alex Pereira's trying to work back up, for him drop badly, and then as Pereira's getting up, 6 more back of the head hammer fists. I fucking hate this guy. And then yeah, let's talk about the rest of it real quick. So Alex Pereira tries to recover, never fully really recovered, and Cyril Gane knew that and kept the pressure on him, and eventually TKO'd him, and it was a fair stoppage. He was on his feet, but he was gone. He was completely gone. But we have to talk about this, because I can't focus on a fight when you drop somebody, and people talk about it like you drop somebody, the fight's over. But how many times have we seen that not be the case? Even in the last fight with Ilya versus Geathje, there were multiple times where I thought it was over for both guys, and it kept on going, and that's what kept the fight a fight. But over here, Cyril Gane, and he loves doing this. He drops somebody, and because he doesn't have any fucking ground and pound, he just sees the back of the head, and he's like, well, why wouldn't I hit that? They're coming everywhere other than the back of the head. I guess I'll just hit the back of the head. But motherfucker, they're covering everywhere besides the back of the head, because you're not supposed to hit the back of the fucking head. But he sees it as an opening, and it's never fucking cost him in the past, so he just starts banging the back of the head. And I hate you for that, and fuck you. And Tom Aspinall's gonna beat him up again. Again, no, the first fight was a 1-round, close, competitive decision. But he, honestly, Aspinall did better against Gane in the first round than Pereira. That even in the first round, Pereira didn't look good against Gane. It was kind of a beatdown in a way. If Alex Pereira didn't have all this aura of who he was, you'd be like, what is this guy doing with Cyril Gane? Just judging based off this fight. So I don't fucking know anything anymore. That's it. I don't know anything in this sport. But yeah, they have to rebook the rematch between him and Tom Aspinall. Alex Pereira tried greatness. He was coming for a third belt. It was an interim belt. I was already thinking of my whole take of like, guys, just so we're clear, he's a 2.5 champion, not a 3-division champion, because the interim belt, he still has to fight Tom Aspinall. We're never gonna have that conversation. Who now is gonna be a 3-division champ? We don't have Ilya anymore. Alex Pereira just got knocked the fuck out. So Cyril Gane's going to fight Tom Aspinall. I can't wait for that fight, the rematch. And I'm still going to pick Tom Aspinall. But now it's interesting. Because he just knocked out Alex Pereira. So now we have a fight on our hands. Anyway, we move on. None of the rest of these fights are going to be as crazy as what just happened. I'm just going to go down in order, and I'm guessing it's a long-ass fucking video. I don't even want to look at the time. I'm afraid to look at the time. But yeah, Sean O'Malley vs. Zahabi vs. Ariel Helwani, the one and only. Yeah, so this was a pretty obvious thing that was going to happen. Zahabi got flown out to U.S. to fucking get knocked out. Something makes sense, guys. Something makes sense on this card. Yeah, Sean O'Malley, round 1. Sean O'Malley was kind of just picking him apart on the feet, jab, jab. It looked like he was just trying to find his range, and he was... Something that's weird about this fight, Sean O'Malley didn't throw any kicks. Maybe in the beginning he threw a couple teeps, a couple leg kicks here and there, but he's a very teep-heavy guy. We didn't see any of that. I think he really was thinking, I need to knock this guy the fuck out. This is a big step down in competition, as I've explained in the video before this. One of the only things I got right on this card. It's a big step down in competition. I need to show who I am. I need to remind people, there's a casual audience watching the White House card. I need to remind people why I deserve my title shot. And so he comes out heavy hands. Round one, I'm not going to say it was a back and forth, but it was a competitive round one. 14-8 from Sean O'Malley. So it's a very low output round. But all in all, it was somewhat competitive, and at the end, he rocks Zahabi badly, and that's what stole the round for him. It's like, okay, now the round is a clear O'Malley round, but round two, Zahabi's back in it. Zahabi comes out, and Zahabi, he invented this, I think, because I've never fucking seen this before. It's funny because he trains with George St. Pierre, and maybe George St. Pierre has done this, but it's called the running leg kick. And what he does is he just sprints at you with taking 3 big steps and just smashes the inside of your thigh. And he did it. He somehow pulled this off against O'Malley 10 times in a row until O'Malley had to literally switch stances because O'Malley's coming in orthodox, and every time he's coming orthodox, Zahabi just runs up to him, throws his fucking inside kick, and just kicks the leg back. And everyone's like, is he really gonna make this work? But O'Malley just switched to southpaw, which he could fight either stance, so it didn't really matter. And from there, he's just tapping around. Zahabi keeps on doing his running leg kicks, but at the end of the day, they didn't look very powerful. It didn't look like he was using a lot of hip in it. It just looked like he was smashing a bat into O'Malley's legs, which hurt, but it didn't look like there was much of a swing behind these kicks. He wasn't really loading up. He's getting a head start. This guy was running 3 feet before the kicks, but it just didn't look like he was using that much hips in these kicks. It didn't look like it really hurt O'Malley that much. Anyway, O'Malley's staying out, and then catches him with the perfect cross. Zahabi gets dropped. As he comes back up, O'Malley lands the hook around the guard, and Zahabi goes out cold. And it was so fucking cool because as he falls down, Sean O'Malley is already doing a salute, which means he could tell, he didn't even see how Zahabi fell. It's not like he saw him fall, he's out cold, I'm going to do my celebration. As fucking Zahabi's falling, he's already doing his fucking celebration. And I just feel like it brought me back a little bit. It brought me back to when O'Malley knocked that guy out with the mustache. Boom! And the guy felt like this. Right? That guy. It brought me back to times like that. An O'Malley knockout. Sometimes all you're missing in life is an O'Malley knockout where he salutes after. And it was fucking awesome. And thank you, O'Malley. You brought me a lot of joy in life. And this was an awesome fight. Next up, Josh Hokit versus Derek Lewis. Josh Hokit, motherfucker. What are you doing, man? Why are you playing with your food? It's not cool, man. That's Derek Lewis we're talking about. Josh Hokit comes out, and I predicted round one ground and pound TKO from Josh Hokit because I just predicted he would shoot a takedown right away, get on top, land some ground and pound, and it kind of almost went like that. In the beginning, round one, he's kind of staying on the outside, Derek Lewis, throwing a lot of knee stomps, just staying away from danger. And he traded even a little bit. I think he even landed a couple punches in round one. And then he times the perfect takedown, takes down Derek Lewis, and at this point there's 3 minutes left to the round. And all you're thinking is, Derek Lewis is done. Like I said, he has fallen and he can't get up. It's funny because you think about it, back in the day, Derek Lewis was the kind of guy who was the just stand up, right? That was him. You take him down, he just stands up. But we're talking about a 41-year-old Derek Lewis. This version of Derek Lewis, he has fallen and he can't get up. And that is all we have to deal with him. So he gets taken down. I think it's over. Hokit started he was landing standing ground and pound. He was standing up over Derek Lewis and throwing ground and pound. This is something my coach used to do to me. Shout out Tarzan. He would put his knee on me or stand and just throw punches, and you're so fucking gassed you can't get up. That's what happened here. And this is round one. Round one, Derek Lewis, you can't get up. He's standing on top of you, throwing ground and pound, and you can't get up. And then he gets back on top of him, and I think the fight's over. And then he goes for this armbar, and there's 30 seconds left, and everyone's surprised at this point. How did Derek Lewis even make it to the last 30 seconds? But he goes for this armbar. It's perfect armbar, holding it, and nothing. And I have to believe this was fake, and that Josh Hokit was either paid by somebody to let it go to round two, or he just wanted more out of the fight. In the face-offs, he was yelling at Derek Lewis, don't quit, man, don't quit, don't take away my glory. So I guess he was like, man, Derek Lewis is trying to quit. I'm not going to let him quit. I'm going to keep him in this fight. So he goes for the armbar, and he's just sitting there like this with the fucking arm between his legs. But anyway, the round finishes. He somehow did not get the fucking armbar, which is crazy. That armbar was finished. Put a white belt in that position, he's finishing that armbar. All he had to do was hip through, and he just didn't do it. So unless Derek Lewis is some freak of nature who can bicep curl 230-pound Josh Hokit, that fight should have been over. But anyway, round 2 comes out, and now Josh Hokit, so Derek Lewis is fucking tired as hell. And so Josh Hokit's just picking it with the jab, and just waiting. And Derek Lewis starts swinging because he knows, like, you're done, bro. So he starts throwing these fucking crazy overhands. Josh Hokit is just barely getting out of the way. Barely. He gets hit with any of those, it's over, man. That's it. All your shit talking, it's over. But he barely gets out of the way, starts throwing his own combos, and he stings Derek Lewis. And every time he stung Derek Lewis, he would either hold him against the cage or disengage and just let him recover. And again, I'm just like watching. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And I still don't know till this day. Now, yeah, I guess he was tired too. Like, this is gonna. I guess there's a lot of weird fights because of the heat outside, and this was always something that was gonna play a factor. But at the end of the day, it was a great event, and we'll talk about the event as a whole at the end of this video. But yeah, like, that's why we get all these weird fights, because that's what happens when you fight outside at 100-degree weather. But he keeps on disengaging or holding him against the cage, just letting him into the fight, and then he'll disengage, rock him badly. Derek Lewis is out of it, and they'll just hold him against the cage again. He did over and over till eventually Derek Lewis was really, what happened? At a certain point, he hit him with a punch, and Derek Lewis like bent down, almost looked like he was grabbing his balls, and he just bent down like, ugh! And then Josh Hook was, okay, I guess I have to stop this fight. Fucking goes in with a couple extra follow ups, drops. Derek Lewis falls on the ground, and this was different. This was like Derek Lewis is not getting up, and then that fight is called. And it's a great win from Josh Hokit. It hurts that Derek Lewis just got knocked out much worse. Not knocked out. He just slipped much worse in his last fight in round 1. I think it was round 1. And Josh Hokit took him 2 rounds, but he really did put a beating on Derek Lewis. And he, I guess what happened was he fought the number 5 ranked guy already. He got jumped into the top 5 basically. And what he really missed was some experience. So this was a great fight for him to get some experience over Derek Lewis. And now it's like he really is a staple of the top 5. He got his Derek Lewis win under his belt. Didn't get fraud checked. And good for you, man. And yeah, and you know what? I love Josh Hokit. He probably is a reason why Ilya fought the way he did too. This motherfucker just rolls in, ruins Ilya's life, and leaves. Motherfucker, this is crazy. But yeah, I love him. I like that he's trying. There's a lot of people who are heating on him for being cringy, and he is cringy. He is fucking cringy. But it's all we got, man. All we have is cringy people. We don't have anybody else. Conor McGregor is coming back, maybe, but like, at least he's trying. He's putting effort in. He has these characters. The Mexican guy, the Incredible Hulk guy. He's writing lines. I noticed, by the way, you didn't write any new rhymes this time. All the rhymes that this fucker used are old lines. Even the Michelle Obama is a man. He said it in the Contender series about another woman also. That also she's a man. I think whatever the president's wife of France or whatever. Point is, you're reusing your lines. Come on, man. I'm a fan of you. Come up with some new ones. I think the best one by far was when he was like, the bee's knees, something, something, and me losing in a fist fight, and word, please. That was the best. That was the best line of Josh Hokit. But he's awesome, and I'm happy that we have him in the UFC. 9-0, which is crazy. So little fights, and he's a staple of the division. And you know what? I would like to see him versus Pareira next. They've been building up that fight. Let's fucking see it, man. Awesome fight coming up. All right. It is sad for Michael Chandler. He's 40 years old now, was promised the Conor fight, came back, got lost to, he lost by decision, TKO, and he should retire. You know, like, it's done, bro. It's over for you. Ruffy came in, just put a beating on him. The first minute it looked somewhat competitive. It looked like he was kind of afraid of Michael Chandler's overhands that he kept on throwing. And you should be afraid of the overhands the way this card has been going. So, you know, it's not a joke. This is the type of card that Ruffy would get knocked out by Michael Chandler. And we all know it. So Ruffy was playing it safe. He's like, I know what kind of card this is about to become. So he's playing it safe, sticking around, starts using that jab really, and he has a great jab, and yet he has all this fucking weird movement, and it all comes from that jab. Throws that jab out, and then all this other stuff comes. But yeah, like, I want to, man, this video is getting long. So yeah, Ruffy, it puts it on Michael Chandler. He ended up, what was the finishing? He ended up with the wheel kick. He really wanted it, so he kept on hurting Michael Chandler with different things. Uppercuts, crosses, getting Michael Chandler to flinch on everything. And Michael Chandler's looking old out here. His knees are wobbly. As he's using his footwork, it's like he keeps on stumbling, and he just looked like an old man. But yeah, Ruffy ended up, like at a certain point, Michael Chandler got a takedown. He threw a Superman punch. It kind of landed. But other than that, Ruffy completely beat the fuck out of him. Ends up landing a spinning wheel kick that he tried like 5 different times. And usually you see somebody try a spinning wheel kick, you're like, who do you think you are, Conor McGregor? Like, what are you doing? But in this case, he has a knockup by spinning wheel kick. So it's like, who do you think you are, Mauricio Ruffy? Yeah, he's literally Mauricio Ruffy. That's him. He's the guy with the spinning wheel kick. So he's spamming it, and he ends up landing it, and Chandler blocked it with the guard. But that kick is so fucking powerful. It rocked him through the guard. Ruffy landed another punch. I think it was a hook or something on the other side. Drops Chandler badly. Chandler does a backwards roll. As he gets up, Ruffy's already in his face, landing more punches. Chandler was like kind of on the ground in turtle position, tries to get up. Ruffy times the perfect uppercut, fucking smashes him back, and that's it. It was over. And I believe in this fight he also hurt him multiple times where he was letting him back in because he really wants the flatline KO. He's at this point, you're Mauricio Ruffy. You can't get a ground and pound TKO. Like you can only win in style. So he needed to get that fucking. We needed Michael Chandler flat faced on the ground, on the canvas, and we got that at the end. He let him back up and then fucking hit him with that perfect uppercut, snapped his head back and fell backwards. And yeah. So what do you want to see from him? Mauricio Ruffy. The only time he ever looked beatable was against Benoit Saint Denis, right? And that was via grappling. Nobody's ever outstruck this motherfucker. So who do we want to see him against next? Somebody in the top 5 for sure. But I don't know. Maybe an Oliveira, maybe an Armin. Whoever's gonna. It's very interesting. 155 is very interesting right now because Ilya's not the champion anymore. Just crazy fucking thing to say. Maybe they'll have a rematch, Ilya and Justin. So now there's a little bit of a logjam. Maybe Oliveira versus Armin gonna have a fight. The winner of Conor versus Max maybe will fight Ruffy. Imagine that. Max fights Conor, then fights Ruffy the fight after that. It's like, well, you passed Conor level 1. Here's Conor level 2. Anyway, let's move on. I was wrong about Bo Nickel, guys. I am here to admit it. Maybe I would have taken this a lot harder when not the rest of the card went the way it did. But I was wrong about Bo Nickel. I guess I was wrong about him. He gets a takedown right away against Kyle Daukaus, and my brain is glitching. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I've been doing this video for way too long, and I'm hoarse because I've been yelling the whole time because of these fights. He takes out Kyle Daukaus, and he's not really landing a lot of ground and pound shots, but whatever he's landing is hurting. And I was a little bit surprised at Kyle Daukaus. I thought he'd have a little bit more of an active guard, but all in all, I'm not too surprised about this yet. It's kind of a slow fight. He would keep on posturing up, landing an elbow, coming back down, and they were brutal elbows, but nothing surprising yet. The ref stands up the fight, and I'm like, yes, here we go. Guys, I predicted this. I picked Kyle Daukaus. I thought that was like my smart pick. There's no way this card's going to go as planned. I have to pick Kyle Daukaus because everything else is so obvious. Little did I know. So yeah, Kyle Daukaus, my sneaky pick. And they get up, and Bo Nickel looks tired. And I'm like, yes, this is where it happens. Kyle Daukaus throws a jab. I can see it. He throws the jab, throws the cross. It stings Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel looks hurt. I'm like, yes. And then Bo Nickel throws his fucking lead hook, rear overhand, or the other way around. Was it the... Oh, this is what happens. He throws a fucking up kick, and the up kick nicks Kyle Daukaus right on the chin. Kyle Daukaus a little bit hurt, and now it's perfect timing for the overhand, the Bo Nickel overhand. So he throws the hook, comes up with the overhand, and he fucking drops Kyle Daukaus, lands a couple ground and pound shots, and he's out, and he knocked out Kyle Daukaus. And you know what? This is a legit win for Bo Nickel. I'm glad to admit when I'm wrong. And right now, I was wrong. Bo Nickel, you surprised me. I don't think he showed anything impressive with his striking still, but I think what we have to learn is Bo Nickel has heavy hands, and at the end of the day, you're going to have to respect him. And he's not the most technical striker, but he has the grappling. And Kyle Daukaus, he's a serious guy. I hyped him up because, fair play, he was 17-4 coming into this, and he looked really good in his last 2 fights. And Bo Nickel knocked him out in round 1, and you can't take that away from him. And maybe I will pick Bo in his next fight. Probably not, because I'm a Bo Nickel hater, and so I'm probably going to pick against him in the next fight, and I'll diminish Kyle Daukaus and everything he's done. But as of right now, I'm giving you your flowers, man. Good shit. Very impressive. That was a legit win by Bo Nickel. The best win of his career, by far. The most impressive win. We move on. Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Now I picked Diego Lopez, and what I did say is that he'll have to grapple. And it was starting to look like Steve Garcia was pulling ahead. And I like Steve Garcia, so I was kind of rooting for him. I love Diego Lopez too. I love both of them. These are 2 fighters who I heavily enjoy. They're both entertaining fighters. Never been a boring fight. I like that. So Steve Garcia, round 1, he won round 1. And all he was doing was just staying behind the jab. He was quicker than Diego Lopez. And Diego Lopez, he had a little bit of respect for Steve Garcia. I guess the game plan, as he said, was, just coast in round 1, because that's when Steve Garcia is the most dangerous. But he had respect for him. He tried to take down. Steve Garcia stuffs it, and now I'm thinking, uh-oh. Because I thought Diego Lopez was going to have to win by takedown, ground and pound, or submission. but he just got his takedown stuffed. And the fight starts going the way I said it could go if Diego doesn't get his takedown. Steve Garcia starts using his jab, using his cross. He's super accurate. Diego Lopez is trying to move away from punches, and Steve Garcia will just fucking land anyway because he's got these long ass fucking arms. Yeah, let's look at round one. Well, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, round one was 23 to 6 strikes. Steve Garcia to Diego Lopez, and significant was 23 and 6. So basically, that's the exact same thing. I read that twice in a row, but they're all significant. Is it just? I feel like every stat I read today was like everything was significant strikes. There were no regular strikes. The point is, Steve Garcia was heavily outlanding Diego Lopez. That's like 4 times the amount. And he's just kind of piecing them apart. I'm thinking, man, Diego Lopez has to do something because Diego Lopez is waiting for Steve Garcia to come in, but Steve Garcia would feint, stomp on the kick. That was something he did a lot. He probably landed like 10 stomps to the knee. I think I said stomp to the kick before, but stomping the knee, not letting Diego Lopez come forward, and just kind of piecing him up from a distance. Round 2, Diego Lopez comes out, and he just looked like he got fired up. Like, fuck this, man. This isn't working. Because the first minute, I think, again, so what, he got knocked out? Yeah, it was 2:42. So for the first, like, minute and a half, he's getting pieced up still. So we're getting next to the midway of round 2 already, and he's like, fuck, this isn't working. And he just realizes, fuck this, man. I'm Diego Lopez. I'm just going to fucking bum rush you. So he bum rushes Steve Garcia, lands, I think it was a hook, rocks Steve Garcia badly, and Steve Garcia, instead of thinking, I should circle out, I should create distance. This guy's got a good chin. He's eating everything I've got, and he's coming back with power. Let me just stay at distance where I'm winning. Steve Garcia goes, yeah, fuck yeah, man. Let's just fucking brawl in the pocket. And so he does that, and it very quickly goes very bad for him. It landed about 20 seconds before he got dropped badly, and Diego Lopez lands a whole bunch of ground and pound shots, and he's done. And Steve Garcia got knocked out, and this is a very impressive win for Diego Lopez. This is probably his second best win. Other than Gene Silva, this is his best win. Steve Garcia, like I said, he was on a 7-fight win streak, 6 of them by knockout, undefeated at featherweight in the UFC, and this is a very impressive win, putting him away in round 2. Now, Steve Garcia, that was, in my opinion, very bad fight IQ to try to brawl with Diego Lopez in the pocket. Maybe if I rewatch it, I'll see something I didn't see, but he was doing so well at a distance, and then he was like, yeah, let's fucking, fine, you know what, you tagged me, let's just brawl in the pocket. It brought out the original Steve Garcia. I'm guessing in camp, all they were working on was staying at a distance and just using that jab and cross. But the second Diego Lopez came in fire, he's like, yeah, let's fucking do it, man. This is the White House. We're opening the card. Let's just fucking do it. And he paid the price. And it doesn't matter because I still want to see the next Steve Garcia fight. So anyway, that's the card. Let's just talk a little bit about the White House card as a whole. This was, it might be recency bias, but in my opinion, this is the best card to ever take place in the UFC. Every single fight was a banger, despite what Cyril Gane did, which he should, unspeakable things should happen to Cyril Gane, like, I hate him as a person. But besides for that, it was still a great fight, great knockout. Every single fight finished in knockout, which is crazy. I know it was only 7 fights, but still, this whole thing could have fucking blown up in our faces. It starts pouring, it starts there's lightning, all the things people worried about. People like wanted to poke holes on this and make sure it didn't work out, and it worked out, and it was an amazing card, the best card, at least in my UFC journey that I've experienced. And even like the small things, the small things comparably. But like I'm watching the beginning of the card, there was that shot where the guy is singing the national anthem, and the fucking the jets are coming from behind him. That shit gave me chills. I was like hating on the card before that. I'm like, yeah, okay, enough. I don't want to see all these fucking, like, just let's get to the fights already. This is what we're here for. But then you see a thing like that where like the jets are coming behind as this guy's singing, and it's like, man, it gave me chills. Like, that's fucking awesome. I'm American. This fucking feels awesome. And all the walkouts happening live, them walking from the Oval Office for their walkout, walking down the stairs, walking with the random people next to them. I don't know who they were, but I'm assuming that they're important people. All the military people being there. Like, I was just, when I saw that, like, oh, each person gets their walkout live, the first thing I thought of is like, man, I'm gonna listen to Ilia Topuria's walkout live. Isn't that so awesome? Back when this guy had aura, back when this guy was undefeated and was supposed to be the greatest fucking fighter of all time, I was like, man, this is awesome. And it was like, this whole event as a whole was amazing. And I'm not going to fall asleep. Right now it's 2:40, and I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm going to be in my bed fucking staring up for probably another 45 minutes or so until maybe I fall asleep. Maybe I'll get a little bit of sleep. And yeah, so that's the breakdown of this card. Amazing card. I might have sounded a little bit upset in the beginning, but it wasn't upsetness, whatever the word is supposed to be. It's just like wonder. It's just, man, this is the greatest sport ever. There is nothing like this. I don't enjoy sports. I never could watch sports as a kid. I never got it. It wasn't interesting to me. But once I discovered this, like, man, this is the shit. This is the greatest sport of all time. and this card has proven it. There's just nothing you can ever predict, and at the end of the day, we're just mere mortals trying to guess something that's completely out of our hands, and that's that. Anyway, that's it for today. Stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to be dropping a video in a couple days, sometime this week, hopefully Tuesday, breaking down the next cards. I'm here every single week, breaking down the cards and then reacting to them after. And thank you for sticking by this long if you have. And yeah, and enjoy the. I hope you enjoyed this card too. Goodbye.